Okay, my name is Ivone De Marchii, and I practice in Brantford, Ontario. I've been a chiropractor for 32 years, and this is one of the miracle stories that happened to me about 6 months into practice. I was brand spanking new, and this couple brought in, and they were fairly young as well, looking from my perspective from today, brought in their 6-month-old daughter that had been born a quadriplegic. That means that, well, she didn't have any use of her arms or her legs. She didn't even cry. She didn't have a voice because of the injuries she sustained during the birthing process. And they brought it to me as a last resort because the medical profession said that she wouldn't survive another 2 to 3 months because she had already stopped breathing at night, and they had to resuscitate her because they were monitoring her 24/7. But anyway, they brought her in, and I checked this little baby and she was about 5 to 6 months old at the time. And I did the test, and being a new graduate, I didn't know how to handle this. We weren't taught pediatrics at that time, well, to a certain degree, not to the extent they are now, but what I did was I let innate guide me, and I gave her corrections in the cervical spine as well in the lumbar spine. And after about 2 to 3 weeks, she started to cry, and that was, to the parents' ears, a miracle because she couldn't even cry. Because when I was examining her the first time she was in, her name was Karen. This little baby opened her mouth, and she welled up in her eyes. Tears flowed, but there was no sound at all, and she couldn't move. So when they heard the cries, they thought, well, this is really a miracle, but again, she couldn't move her arms or her legs. So we worked with her, and after about another, I would say 6 to 8 months, she started moving her arms. And this is how they found out, because whenever they put her in her crib to sleep, the child would wake up in the same position she was in. But after a length of time with these corrections, they actually found her on her stomach. Of course, she moved her arms a little bit, but she gained more and more strength, more ability, more agility, and her arms became normal, in quotation marks, within a matter of about 1 to 2 years. We also worked on her lumbar region to have more control over her legs, and we continued to correct her on a weekly basis for the next 5 to 6 years. And the best you could do with her legs was internal rotation of her feet produce a flexion of her thighs. And then, because I had moved to another location, they had to bring the child in, and there were approximately 6 to 7 stairs to climb down and go up. They decided that, well, after 6, 7 years, that's all that the advancement that she would get or experience and produce. And they decided to terminate her care, cover the care, which was really too bad because from their perspective, they thought that was the end of her continuation of improvement. As a result, I kept in contact with the parents and also Karen, and she basically was wheelchair bound, but she developed a severe scoliosis for which she also had a Harrington rod placed in her spine, and that's as far as she got. But it did prove that, well, obviously she didn't die, but she did improve, and to this day, she's a fantastic person. She has her university degree, and every time she sees me, she smiles and hugs me, and I hug her and give her a kiss. But I wish that they had continued with the corrections so that she may have improved her muscle tone, structure, function, as well as her arms and her cerebral improvement. And that's my miracle story.